Apart. Tom Coburn pulled out of the group this week. Do you think that in some way, shape, or form there can be some sort of proposal that works out of this group or anywhere on Capitol Hill?
It should. I'll make a little news today. I think the Gang of Six should probably be the Gang of Six again. I hope Senator Rob Portman joins with his connections to the OMB and his gravitas. That would help. A lot of the hopes and prayers of the Senate in fixing $4 to $5 trillion problem rest on this group of Democrats and Republicans in the Senate. Because I think they offer the best chance to put together a plan based on the Bipartisan Deficit Commission report to handle this that would reassure Americans, employers, U.S. allies, and especially those who lend money to the U.S. government.
But, Senator, don't you think, though, that, I thought Tom Coburn was a huge loss. One, because of what he did under the Deficit Commission. Two, because he clearly has the guts. He took on Governor Nordquist. He's sending the right messages out. And plus, I think he's a great guy who cares about this country. I was really saddened to see that.
He was. The initial magic of the Gang of Six was that Coburn and Durbin both voted for the Bipartisan Deficit Commission report. But I think we should continue to be optimistic about the United States. We had a tremendous deficit like this right after World War II. And because we had fiscally conservative leaders, we paid off those huge World War II deficits, unlocked the economy that became the superpower called the United States of America. It's that kind of fiscal discipline that we need again, and I think the Gang of Six offers us the best. So
what would a Portman addition be? What would he bring to the table?
Well,
and will we have that announcement?
No, I don't. I talked to Rob about this yesterday, and I think he's reticent, and he needs to be invited into this group. But he is the kind of person who could give gravitas to this discussion again, rebalance the group. I think it's unfortunate that Secretary Geithner gave us a May 16th deadline, which the Congress was quickly moving to make. And then he sent us another letter saying the deadline was actually August 2nd. You could feel the energy going out of all of the deficit reduction tires and heading for a July battle instead of a May battle. And so I think it's, once again, we're resetting the battlefield for June, July, with the Gang of Six, Gang of Five being the best act in town.
You know, Senator, if you do your grocery shopping or get your gas in the morning or wherever, you get the sense that most people in this country understand that there's a need to reduce our spending and take a whack at the deficit. But you also get the sense, I think, from a lot of people that they understand equally that there's a need to increase the revenue stream, that at some point we're going to have to do something about the tax structure, eliminate the Bush tax cuts. Where are you on that?
I think the Bipartisan Deficit Commission report is by far the most important document in Washington. I've read every page. I think any serious policy analyst in Washington, if you have not read every page of that report, you are out of step with where the Congress is going. That's a mixture of revenues and cuts. It's got about $3 trillion in cuts and $1 trillion in revenues. I think that's a politically sustainable amount that could get through the House of Representatives, but it depends on will. It depends on the White House not undercutting this group, and it depends on we Republicans also supporting its work.
So on a specific issue, just to pick up Mike's point, repealing the tax cut, I'm one of that 1%, the very wealthy Americans who's very happy to pay my share of taxes. I think it's fair. I think it's right. Do you not think that's right for somebody like me who has millions and millions of dollars? That why should I be getting the tax breaks that I've been getting? I want a yes or a no on that.
No, I think most people. I am not in Washington to raise taxes and to sock it to the rich and have some sort of failed class politics that the American people have always flirted with and then totally rejected at the polls. But if there is a balanced a plan along the Simpson-Bowles line that will lower the rates, for example, remember, the Simpson-Bowles bipartisan plan wipes out a lot of the deductions, not home mortgage, not charitable, but everything else, bringing us down to 28, 23% tax rates. The economy will take off, as it has in many other countries when they've had a reform like that, as it did in 1986. Class warfare cannot work and can't get
No, but
through the
you're
House of
saying that
Representatives.
if corporations, for instance, that pay 13 and 15 and 70% taxes, and people like Warren Buffett who pay 12 or 13 and 15% tax, you're saying if these guys get taxed more and pay their fair share, the economy's going to tank? Why is that?
Because you're going in the class warfare
No, I'm
direction.
not going to go. I'm trying to balance. I'm trying to get this deficit thing, and I'm saying one of the moves is these absurd loopholes for wealthy corporations.
Well, first of all, Senator,
let me just say, I would say the president has laid out a corporate tax reform plan, which is very good. The president knows, especially Michael Dell and the other high-tech guys say, the United States cannot have the second highest corporate taxes on earth. That is a huge incentive to leave the United States, as we've seen.
But we don't
the
have.
president has put forward a plan in concept to wipe out a lot of the deductions and lower the corporate tax rate. The president is exactly right. If we set a goal of setting a corporate tax rate, for example, that is slightly below our economic competitors, then all of the multinational corporations have an incentive to base their headquarters in the United States, not to go abroad as they do now.
But Senator, you are an extremely intelligent guy. You know that our tax rate isn't even close to what the effective tax rate is. Do you know how many % of the American corporations pay no corporate income tax?
Friends of the president,
34%. 34% pay no taxes at all.
Friends of the president, like GE, somehow have paid no tax.
It's not just GE, it's 34%.
Right. Yeah.
That's wrong, and we've got to change it.
Yeah, but you guys are very much on the raise taxes front.
No.
Yeah.
Let's pay taxes, not raise them. Pay taxes.
Yeah.
Senator.
And I think the vision thing here, both on the individual and the corporate side, is to wipe out all of the special interest loopholes. The Bipartisan Commission talks about really a death for K Street. And a number of special interest provisions being wiped out, so that both corporate and individual tax rates come down. You end up with a flatter, fairer tax in which economic decisions, rather than special interest decisions, guide the economy. And I think you'll have the same result that you've had in the past. The economy will take off.
I'm the dope here. I mean, he's a billionaire, and he's a smart guy and a politician.
Mika,
please explain to me,
you're awfully smart.
how is it class politics when you just take the tax code and go back to the tax code that existed in the Clinton?
Because a lot of people want
How is that class politics?
Well, a lot of people want to hit the U.S. economy with yet another tax increase. Remember, we had 10 tax increases in the health care bill alone. We have enormous uncertainty because I think all of the regulations of the health care bill and the financial control bill inject a lot of capital sitting off on the side of this economy. We can't have another discussion about socking this economy with another huge tax increase. If we do that, then other countries will take off. Remember, as the Japanese lower their corporate tax rate, if they do as expected, we will then have the highest corporate tax rates on earth.
All right.
Probably a bad idea.
All right, we don't have agreement here, but everyone got a chance to talk.
We're going to take a